I'm gonna just give a straight raw reaction to this video. Now keep in mind, I don't do a lot of raw, live anything, but I think it's important for me and everybody else who reacts to this video to just record themselves the first time they watch it and to just speak on what it is that they're seeing. I will tell you one thing though. It was completely deliberate for the police to not have their audio on. Without their audio, now they can essentially create the narrative. They are in tremendous control. But I mean, what is it that they could possibly say that this guy was doing? I mean, he's handcuffed, right? You can see he's handcuffed. They got him on an operation table. When I got my ass kicked by the cops, they made sure to do it right in front of the medical staff, and then they brought me to the medical people. And it was a weak beating. I mean, this was when Orange County Jail, when the cops had stopped giving the elevator rides and that, man. But look at this. I mean, how are they going to go about justifying this? We got to get some lip readers. That's what we need, man. We're gonna need some lip readers to dissect this thing, dude, and figure out what it is the inmate is saying and the cops are saying. But I don't see the inmate saying much of anything except gasping for air. And I mean, look, this is what they're showing us, okay? Now, keep in mind, who knows what happened to him prior to him getting booked into the hospital. They don't show that part. They don't show him his transportation to the hospital. I mean, he's a rag doll, dude. This is unbelievable. This is the first time that I've actually been able to sit here and look at this video in its entirety. I know that there was maybe a minute or so prior to this, but actually that minute, the very beginning, that's actually very relevant too. Now, the reason for the relevancy is because he appears to be sitting there by himself. So why is he sitting there by himself? Was he trying to escape? Was he making an escape attempt? It's clear that maybe some of the scratches and some of the marks on his body came from the barbed wire, but it's clear all of the markings from his face were caused by the police. I don't know anybody who's got any shiners from barbed wire. You can tell by his eyes he had some shiners coming had he not died at the hospital. Now, if he was trying to escape, right, the way that the cops are beating him up, it's personal. One thing that you have to do as a police officer or as anybody working in law enforcement or corrections, period, is you have to detach yourself from interpreting anything as personal. Nothing is a personal attack upon the officer. Anything that the inmate does cannot be interpreted as a personal attack until the inmate actually starts to personally attack. And if you can't get that through your head, and if you're the type of individual who takes things personal, who gets butthurt easy, law enforcement is not for you. Now, if you're a police officer who has used violence on people in the past, or if you're a corrections officer who has gotten violent with inmates in the past, and the statement that I just made has inflicted an astounding revelation within you, then I can promise you, you do not have the emotional intelligence or temperament required for law enforcement. Sometimes the medical staff are sadly stuck behind this blue wall of silence because these are their coworkers. They see these people every day. Some of these guys know where the medical staff live. Some of them, oftentimes they are in the same small town communities, you know? So chances are they grew up together. So, I mean, they're complicit in the abuse too, because they witness it and say nothing about it, and then treat these guys like, okay, you know, no harm, no foul, right? Like freaking just turn a blind eye to it. When you turn a blind eye to something, that makes you equally complicit in whatever corruption is transpiring. When you turn a blind eye to it, you are damn near equally as complicit when it comes to any kind of corruption in the workplace or even on the streets, right?
In order to prevent the kind of violence and contempt for human life that made this incident possible, there really has to be a concerted long-term commitment to changing the culture of corrections so that it focuses on people's humanity. She said, adding this also includes recognizing that corrections staff work in difficult circumstances. They need opportunities to observe the humanity of incarcerated people and have their own humanity recognized. It's no quick fix solution,